Welcome back to another episode of the Point After Podcast. We're your hosts, Caleb and Jay, man. We're back. Episode 10, man. We hit double figures.
Hey, we
Uh
made it.
yeah, a little bit of a better mood. We're
It's
heading
over
into
it.
week two. Week one's over with. We're at the last bit of week one. Um it's on to Baltimore, my friend. Week two.
For y'all, that's a tough one for y'all. But how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. On a Tuesday night, man. Taco Tuesday. Got some tacos down ready for me. But I'm good. Let's talk some sports though, man. Let's talk some football, man. Had a game last night, Monday Night Football. Your Niners, man, got the dub against the Jets.
Yes, sir.
Man, first of all, though, bro, we got to talk about Mr. Jordan Mason, man. Jacob, bro, talking about Mr. Mason.
My bad, my pen fell. Jordan Mason, man, dude's a great back. Obviously, was surprised that CMC was out. And then there was a bunch of controversial stuff with the media. We're not gonna get into that because they just gave Jordan Mason a bunch of crap. But other than that, man, Jordan Mason had a freaking barn burner of a game, man. He was putting up some stats and 28 carries, 147 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, he just looked excellent. O-line looked relatively good. I wanted to shout out to Dominic Puny, our third round pick out of Kansas.
He was
Dude,
solid.
he did excellent in the run blocking. And obviously, it looks like they got a steal at right guard. So it's looking up for the Niners. And about Jordan Mason, I've been seeing this. I've been knew about this guy. And Kyle Shanahan just wanted to put the man in the doghouse like he did Ayuk. But now he gets some time, and now everyone wants to see, and everyone's gonna hop on the Jordan Mason train. And I won't be surprised if the man gets looked at for a contract, and you put this dude on another squad struggling at running back, like the Cowboys. I mean, you be looking nice, man. But
Hey, man, Zeke looked all
hey,
right, bro. We ain't
hey,
gonna talk about it though. Zeke looked all
hey,
right.
hey, hey, and let me just say, undrafted in 2022 out of Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I think I talked to you a little bit about this yesterday. Whoever the scout is, the running back scout for the Niners, like whatever that dude does, it's crazy, bro. Like
You know,
you start all the way back from Matt Breida. You talk about with Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert, Elijah Mitchell, and now with Jordan
Jeff
Mason.
Wilson
Everyone,
Jr. Don't forget Jeff Wilson Jr.
yeah, I said Jeff Wilson Jr. Yeah,
Oh, you did it right. Okay.
yeah, yeah. And obviously everyone knows who McCaffrey was, but I'm saying that most of those guys, a lot of people don't really know who they are. They come in and they're rushing for 1,000 yards, or they're, you know, what I'm saying like this Kyle Shanahan offensively, how they're able to run the football, it's incredible, man. And whoever comes in just makes an impact. So the game ended up finishing 32-19, but for me, it felt even larger than that.
Yeah.
Debo Samuel was immense tonight. They
Yep.
used him quite a bit in the running game as well. They moved him around a lot. Um, Fred Warner did Fred Warner things in this Niner defensive line. Um, I think you look at their interior, right? The big names, Javon Hargrave and Nick Bosa, but you got to see Leonard Floyd
Mm-hmm.
yesterday.
You
You got
got
to
the
see
sack.
Malik. Was it Malik Collins?
Yes. We acquired him, and he was a big help in the run game, man.
Yeah,
We shut that down early. Brees was having trouble capping off his big runs like he usually does. He had a few late in the game, but you could definitely see the difficulty. And I don't think it was the best of interest for the Jets to have the Niners in their first game.
yeah. On all phases of the ball, the Niners were pretty solid. Even Jake Moody, who took a lot of flack last year, right, going 6 for 6.
Hey,
You know what I'm
shout out
saying?
to Jake.
Hey,
Shout out
Jake
to Jake
Moody did his
Moody.
thing, man.
Hey, I mean, he had some choke moments last year, but you got to give credit where credit is due. And real quick, I just wanted to shout out Jets defense real quick. It was a little bit of a bright spot. Granted, the Niners had their moments all game, but there were a lot of field goals, a lot of unfinished drives. And shout out CJ Mosley and Tony Adams. They had a game. Their best guys defensively there. I think Sauce had like one pass deflection. But Aaron Rodgers just seemed old. Like He's just getting up there in age, but
First game
like
back from an Achilles tear, bro.
that too. And it's like chemistry wise as well. Garrett Wilson still got his touches. You know, Alan Lazard, there's still that rapport there, and then Aaron Rodgers on the free plays, man. He's so good at them.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Buck said in the commentary, but he is the best quarterback when you have a free play, it's a touchdown. Like that's just
Yeah.
typical. It's vintage Aaron Rodgers. But before I kind of talk about the Jets a little bit, I mean Brock Purdy, man. Brock Purdy, he's like he can play, bro. Like he's one of the better quarterbacks. It's just I think it's time to say it, man.
No,
We've seen Jimmy G have success in this system. Obviously, Trey Lance, right, didn't work out. But you look at how Brock Purdy has elevated, I think, in this system, where you can see Jimmy G played in the system. Brock Purdy is just better. Like physically, he can just do better than what Jimmy G did. He's more, he can use his legs more. He's more athletic, and I think as an arm talent, he's just better than Jimmy G.
For sure.
And
Jimmy G's more of a gunslinger, and he's more,
no, Jimmy G ain't no gunslinger, bro.
No, I mean gunslinger as in reckless with the ball, as in he's just ready to go and ready to sling that thing, man. But no, real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say that before we do that though.
Yeah,
Brock Purdy, 19 for 29, 230 yards, accurate, solid. Brock Purdy doing pretty things right now.
And I think you're gonna want to hear this, man. I think this game got away from the Jets, and a big important thing on the stat sheet I want to point out: time of possession. Niners had 38 minutes. Jets had 21. Niners controlled that the whole game with the long drives, and they basically had it all game. And it's not like the Jets couldn't score; they couldn't get the damn ball downfield, and it's just no field goals, and that's what it was. And shout out to the Niners for their game plan with the long drives and the run game. Brock Purdy didn't really have to do too much. He hit his reads. Ayuk, this is why you need to sign your contract early and get into training camp, because this is why you can't drop balls right in your hands. Perfect pass from Purdy. And there was a similar one last year as well. But that's why we go to training camp, get those reps. And that's why we play in preseason and get them reps. But
yeah, Brandon, he's gonna be fine. Ayuk's gonna be
fine. No, 100%. I'm just saying, like the miscues.
No, 100%. And Peyton Manning talked a little bit about it on his forecast, right? About it. It was pretty funny, by the way. It was hilarious.
You could tell Eli was rounding him up real quick. He was like, "Oh man, he's been out waiting for a contract." And yeah, dude, hilarious, bro.
But that just shows you the talent the Niners have. Like even if Ayuk isn't up to speed, he still got Debo, Jennings. Talk about George Kittle.
Jennings on third down. Hello.
Yeah, he's solid, bro. He's solid, and he's kind of an unsung guy too because he blocks a lot.
Yeah,
he does a lot of the dirty stuff, but he's solid, bro. Yeah. But what about the Jets? I think some positive signs for the Jets. Number one is that I think this Jets offensive line during pass protection, I thought they actually were pretty solid. You know, it wasn't like Aaron Rodgers got sacked 5 or 6 times.
No,
he only got sacked once, right? By Leonard Floyd.
It was once, I think, by Leonard Floyd. Correct.
Yeah. So this offensive line during pass protection, they were solid, which is a good sign. Now, obviously, running the football, there was an issue there. But the positive you can take is they protected Aaron Rodgers well. And you look at the weapons, right? We know Garrett Wilson is elite. The few catches he had during that game, I mean,
it looked good, man. You could tell Rodgers loves playing with that dude, man. Every time he sees him, he throws him off, slings it, dude. Rodgers got the quickest release I know.
Yeah, but I think the key person on this offense, I think, as far as that could really unlock it, is potentially Mike Williams, because they don't have another receiver on this roster that can do what he do. And obviously his height, his athleticism, his catch radius. Now he only played a few snaps. I get it. He obviously kind of just brought to the team. I don't think he was 100% throughout training camp the whole time as well. So the Jets really monitored him and, kind of had him on like a football pitch count. But No, I think Mike Williams is going to be one of the main keys because you know what Garrett Wilson is going to be. You can
Yeah,
already see it.
he's already a guy.
Yes, Brees Hall had a tough game, but Brees Hall when healthy, you know what he's going to bring to the table.
Right.
Tyler Conklin is
You got to take account of the defense you're going against too. You know, that's these are one of the top dogs. These guys were
yeah.
in the Super Bowl last year.
And Alan Lazard is solid as a wide receiver 3. Like he's a
Mhm.
solid wide receiver. Tyler Conklin's pretty, good at tight end. But Mike Williams is going to be the guy that could really change this offense.
For
But
sure.
one thing about Aaron Rodgers, he can still throw the football. He can
Yeah.
still
It's a
he still
slant.
got zip on it, man. Um,
Yeah.
so positive signs. The Jets defense, well, not a positive sign. The Jets defense did not look good yesterday. And
Like I said,
yes,
only a handful select few were standouts.
yeah. The Hassan Reddick situation is weird, but
Right.
more so than that, I think a bad trade that the Jets made in the offseason was when they traded John Franklin Myers to the Denver Broncos, their interior defensive lineman,
Mm-hmm.
for I believe it was a 6th-round pick.
That's
That
fine.
wasn't smart. He was one of the better interior defensive linemen in football, and
Mm-hmm.
he's someone who could play outside as well. He could play in the interior alongside Quinn Williams, but he
Mm-hmm.
also can go out wide and pass rush as well.
That's right.
And you clearly saw that the interior of that Jets defense, they had issues. There's no
For sure.
even as good as Quinn Williams is, like they're gonna double him. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna
He can't do it all
and
by himself.
exactly. And I think losing that interior guy and the fact they haven't replaced it, like they try to replace it with Javon Kinlaw. Um, I mean, obviously, and you're a Niner fan, you saw. I mean,
We know how Javon Kinlaw works, so
yeah, so
I'm not too impressed.
they got to figure out that interior of that defense because I believe Hassan Reddick will come back. I believe eventually he'll come back. You've got him. You got also Jermaine Johnson as well, really young, promising pass rusher as well on the opposite side. McDonald as well. I think he is going to have a chance to really blossom. We know about Quinn Williams, all pro. CJ Mosley and Williams at the linebacker position as well. Quinn Williams' brother. I forget his first name, but
Mhm.
they're a really solid linebacking core. You got Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed, one of the elite cornerback duos. But you saw that interior defense. That's a problem. I think that's going to be a problem moving forward. They got to address that in some way. But
Yeah.
first game, the schedule is lining up for the Jets. I think they'll be fine moving forward. But if the Jets want to win a Super Bowl, if this is their dream, this is probably going to be the team that they're going to face. So,
I
not a
mean,
great sign that the team that you play, you basically got completely ran out the building.
they did in fact get ran out the building. And it's the fact that who was Rogers' backup? Was it Tyrod?
I like Tyrod Taylor
Yeah,
though,
no,
bro.
I
He's
like him.
solid,
He
bro.
came in and got the touchdown. Like, bruh.
Yeah, yeah,
But overall, first game of the season, good win, good start for the Niners. I know they got the Vikings next week. They're gonna face Sam Darnold. Defense is gonna eat.
yeah. The Jets
That's
will be
how
all
it's
right.
just gonna go.
They'll
Uh,
be all right.
Travarius Ward, Diamador Lenore. Shout out to Lenore too. I know Flanagan Fowles got the interception on Rodgers, but Diamador Lenore tipped it or popped it out to tip it in the air for Flanagan Fowles to intercept that. And I just want to give credit to Lenore because he's taking some big jumps into being one of the trying to climb into the top echelon of the cornerbacks in the league. So I want to give a shout
Yeah,
out to him.
100%, man. He's solid. Another thing too is that this Niner defense played really well, and you're still missing Hafunga and Dre
Hey,
Greenlaw.
with some news, there's a chance he could play this week per
Yeah,
Kyle
it's
Shanahan.
just that just shows, man. This Niners team, like both sides of the football, this is just like I want to say they are probably the most complete team in the NFL. Now the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes, and obviously they have a great roster too. But Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes.
Of
But the
course.
Niners, like, you're missing what? Dre Greenlaw? Is it fair to say he's an All Pro? Hafunga, All Pro? Like you're losing two pretty much All Pro players,
I
and
know.
that defense still looks that good. So
Yeah.
yeah, this
Credit
defense
to
is
the
scary,
depth.
man. It's
Hmm.
scary.
It's scary. But moving on to the next game to cover that we did in the last episode, we got the Rams versus the Lions. Lions taking the
Yep.
OTW,
Mhm.
26-20. Good game overall. I think both teams' quarterbacks had an up and down game. with some risky throws. Granted, it was the first game of the season. Stafford just looked a little slow to me coming from the Rams side. Kyron Williams couldn't really get going, only really averaged 2.8 yards per carry. So the running game was a little off that game. But credit to Cooper Kupp, man, looking like 2021 Cooper Kupp over here. But he looked good, man. What'd he go off for? 14 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, you
Vintage.
can't get no better. You can't get no better. And he just stepped up in a moment of, Puka unfortunately got injured with his knee
That's
injury.
tough, man.
Did get placed on IR, so he is gonna miss at least 4 games. So speedy recovery for Puka. That's a big loss. That's a big loss for the Rams. But as you can see, Cooper Kupp has no problem taking the lead there. But touching on the Lions real quick, David Montgomery.
He's on my fantasy team.
Jahmyr Gibbs. He's on my fantasy team. Jahmyr Gibbs. Shout out to him. But great running game, strong tandem right there. That was a phenomenal game from them, especially late in OT. Montgomery had some phenomenal runs that were just capping off first downs. Stafford, old. It had Aaron Rodgers and him look very similar this week.
But I think Stafford in the fourth, though, he was better in the fourth
Oh
quarter.
no, he was putting it on. But I'm just saying, like, there was just some passes. I'm just like, Stafford, what are we doing?
Hey man, our legends are getting old, bro.
I did want to touch on though. Amon had a quiet night. Let me just check right here and some receipts real quick. 3 catches, 13 yards. But Jameson Williams, sir, he is stepping up in the bigger role. 5 catches, 121 yards and a touchdown. Granted, Amon had a quiet night, but this is why you have depth at the wide receiver position. Another guy could go off. And I think Jameson Williams is going to have a bigger year. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, you're all good. Yeah, I mean, this is what I talked about it with the Niners, how Ayuk, right? He kind of rust, expected he wasn't available in training camp, right? Trying to get his deal.
Right.
Like, this is how you really show you're an elite team. When Amon-Ra, he's not putting up the numbers. He's not making that much huge of an impact. Well, first of all, he does make an impact because he is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Just his presence alone.
He's a threat. Exactly.
Yeah, he's a threat. Exactly. So people are going to pay attention to him. But even if he's not getting that kind of attention to his way, you talk about you've got Laporta at tight end, one of the best young tight ends in all of football. You talk about Montgomery and Gibbs as a running back pairing, and Jameson Williams as well. They also brought in Tim Patrick.
Right.
Donovan Peoples-Jones as well, I believe, is still there. So this shows you the depth you have. And if you're a real championship team, you have to be able to win games, even when your best players are not playing well. And this is, like you said, this is why the Lions are one of the premier teams in the NFC, because even if Amon-Ra isn't putting up those numbers, they can still find another ways to win because they have a lot of talent on this offense.
No, they do. I think it's a full, complete offense. I think you could go a lot of ways with this offense.
Best offensive line probably in football too.
Yeah, I mean, Jared Goff is protected, and granted, Jared Goff didn't have his best game, but he still delivered the ball, man. In the late game situation, Goff came through, and as long as you get the W, you did your job.
100%, man.
100%. And then moving on to, or what, you guys on that?
Yeah, about Cooper Kupp, man. First of all, I'm happy to see Cooper Kupp still doing his thing, bro.
And healthy, yeah.
Yeah, man. And now, like you said, when Puka out now, I think we get to see vintage that Stafford and Kupp connection, man. So
that double digit receptions each game, dude.
Yeah, bro. The 30 targets.
I mean, dude, he's damn near open every single play.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, his route running is elite. So shout out Cooper Kupp, man. He had a great game. But it's gonna be a new segue into a new topic that's gonna be becoming a weekly occurrence for y'all. Caleb, why don't you introduce it to the folks for me?
Yes, it is the point after picks. Yes, the point after picks. Basically, the marquee matchups Monday, Sunday, Thursday throughout the week. And this is coming. We obviously got 3, intriguing matchups.
Yeah,
we got the Bills versus the Dolphins, the Bengals versus the Chiefs, and the Falcons versus the Eagles. My man, Bills versus Dolphins. Who you rolling with?
Given is at Miami.
Oh,
Uh,
home game. Okay.
it is a home game, and you know, Josh Allen's gonna have to put that team on his back, and that's what I don't like. I like Miami. I like the rapport. That offense is absolutely disgusting. That running game with Achane, it's stay popping off. And they still mix Jeff Wilson Jr. in there. I know that,
And
and
Mostert.
obviously, and of course, Mostert. Tyreek Hill, the fastest man in the league. Are you serious? And
Yeah.
yeah, I just don't think in Miami, I just don't think Allen's gonna have enough to put it on his back to win the whole game. Plus, that defense was struggling against Arizona, and they have a lot of open holes in that defense, and Miami's known to exploit with some big plays.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to disagree with you, man.
Mhm.
Respectfully,
All right.
I'm rolling with the Bills. Now, the Dolphins early in the season, they're great, especially if they're at home. They're great, and obviously, Tyreek Hill came out in the post game and says how the recent incident has really galvanized this team. So clearly, there's a lot of camaraderie on this team as well. But for me, I'm rolling with the Bills because he's not Mahomes, but Josh Allen kind of gives me like those Superman vibes, man.
He
Where
does some special things.
you know what I'm saying? And again, I think people are underestimating this offense. Like we understand Stephon Diggs is not there no more, but James Cook, Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, Curtis Samuel, you got Khalil Shakir as well, our wide receiver. Like there's some talent on this offense. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? And a shout out to Spencer Brown, the right tackle for the Bills, just got contract extension. I don't know
That's
the
right.
100% of the details on it, but I did see it this morning. Shout out to him.
Shout out.
Um, and again, I think you look at this Bills team. I just think it's going to be a close game. And yes, the Dolphins are at home and they put up a lot of points. They go just crazy at home,
Yeah.
but I have a feeling this time around. I'm putting some. I got my faith in Josh Allen, man. I think he's gonna pull out one of those just Josh Allen performances where he puts a team on his back and leads his team to a victory. I think it's gonna be an extremely high scoring game. I
Oh
think
yeah.
we're looking at. I'm gonna go Bills 38,
Hmm.
Dolphins 35. I think it's
I
gonna be
like
a
that.
real high scoring game.
I see your argument too. Buffalo still does have some weapons, and then Josh Allen does some does some special things, like I said.
Josh Allen,
And
man.
then obviously we seen this previous game. He just came down from a nasty deficit, so
Hmm.
there he definitely can't do it. So I do see your argument. I'm gonna go 30-27 Miami. It's gonna be a close one. I think Miami's gonna pull it out. The big playability is just absolutely disgusting. I
Yeah,
feel like their defense is a little more complete than Buffalo.
no, 100%. And like you said, the Dolphins. I mean, with Waddle and Tyreek, A Chain, Mostert, the speed they have. I
And
mean,
Waddle, I
they
forgot Waddle.
no 100%. Like they have like everyone on that roster has the ability to take it to the house on
Yeah,
one play. Like they're
for
off the
sure.
speed they have, the vertical ability they have on this team is insane. It's nuts. So
It's absolutely crazy. You're right. Next game, Bengals versus the Chiefs. Bengals coming off the rough week against the Patriots. KC coming off a nice win against Baltimore. What you feeling there? It's at KC.
yeah, I think the Chiefs win. I actually think respectfully, again, respected Joe Burrow.
Respect to Joe Burrow.
But I think the Chiefs actually win this game pretty comfortably. I have some concerns about the Bengals. One of it being
I don't even know if T's
T.
coming back.
Higgins.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, both got the same
Um,
concern.
yeah, that's a huge concern.
For sure. You
And
seen
then
it last
similar
game.
And then similar to with Ayuk about Jamar Chase, there
Hmm.
definitely was a rustiness there.
Yeah.
And then the difference is though, we're going back to the Niners again. But if you look at the difference is the Niners have a lot of weapons. If you look at the Bengals, you know, it's a lot is on T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. You look at the
Mhm.
running back core, they lost obviously Joe Mixon. Zach Moss is solid. But now with
Yeah.
Joe Mixon there being the full-time guy,
And
you
then they
know,
lost Boyd as well.
they lost Tyler Boyd as well. The offensive line again is just still not that good. Like,
Yeah,
and
no,
they
no,
continue to
no.
shuffle, move guys
You
around.
you could tell, like, the dude's getting sacked. He's still Burrow's still running for his life every play. He still can't go through his progressions. So it's coming very evident that they need to invest more in this offensive line. They didn't do what they need to do.
Yeah, and I think too, the Bengals have shown the last few years they just get off the slow starts as well. I think this season's going to continue. I think the Bengals by week 8 could be a team who's 4-3, 3-4, but then obviously they're going to go on a run late. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree.
I think this offense just had question marks. Then Joe Burrow as hell, Joe Burrow, Joe Burrow as well. There definitely is still some concerns coming off the wrist injury he suffered last year, I believe.
Yeah.
So look, I love Joe. When Joe's healthy and when this team is clicking, they can compete with anybody in the NFL. But early on in the season, combined with the T. Higgins situation and Jamar Chase finally starting to get acclimated back into this team, I just don't think the Bengals are going to have enough to hang with the Kansas City Chiefs.
No, no, no. I hear you. What's the score prediction for you?
So I'm going to go 27-14.
Oh, it's funny. I was ranging around there. You're at KC. Bengals aren't at home. They struggle away from home. Uh, and Burrow's coming off a not so good of a week. You still got Jamar Chase. You don't got T. Higgins. Um, but Chiefs got Xavier Worthy now, and it was very evident from game one that
It
they
was
got they
one
got.
game, bro. It was
It was
one game.
very evident from game one they got a lot of shit done for him. So that man, don't be surprised if there's some big plays every single week. Don't be surprised. I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna go KC. A little lower scoring though, and I'm actually gonna make it a little closer. I'm not gonna lie because I think offensively Burrow is gonna have a better week. So I'm gonna go, and let's not forget his record against Mahomes. I'm gonna go 24-21 Chiefs.
Yeah, Joe Burrow is the only one that's been able to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Like he's been the only guy, and like I said, when Joe is upright, I firmly believe that he is the second best quarterback in football. But
Hmm.
health has been a problem. We know now about obviously the receiver room situation. I'm gonna give Joe Burrow a shot because he's the only one that I am confident again. Like to beat Patrick Mahomes at least somewhat of a consistent basis. You know
Right.
what I mean? But yeah, I just think the Chiefs right now, the chemistry that they have, just the quest and hunger they have, it seems to go for a third straight Super Bowl. I think it's just going to be too much for Cincinnati at Arrowhead.
Yeah, I agree. And last game we got here, my man, Atlanta at Philadelphia, the Eagles.
Oh, it's
Um,
they're playing in Philly.
they playing in Philly. They are.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Hmm.
okay.
So, and I actually got Philly winning this one, building off their last win against the Packers. I feel like Jalen Hurts is going to be more efficient with his decision making this game. I feel like he's going to be a lot smarter with the ball. And besides his mistakes last game, he did have a very good game, and he did make some very good throws. And Barkley, that's their running game now. So it's just a monster offense, and you really can't beat it. And I think Falcons are still trying to find their chemistry. That defense did keep them in the game for as long as they could,
Mm-hmm.
but Kirk Cousins, I'm gonna just say you got Michael Penix Jr. for a reason. But Robinson, with the running game will always be consistent. So I'm not worried about that there.
Yeah.
But just get it to your weapons. I'm pretty sure the Falcons are gonna stay in it. Score prediction: Philadelphia, man. They're gonna
Uh,
score. They're gonna score. I'm gonna go 31-20
okay.
Eagles.
At first, I'm not gonna lie. Before we started the show, I was kind of thinking about this, and I was leaning towards Atlanta because I'm having some questions about this Eagles defense, and I still, when I watch Jalen Hurts, he still just doesn't look 100% to me. He doesn't look as elusive or quick as he used to. But the fact that they're playing in Philadelphia, combined with the fact that, like you said, I agree that Atlanta is still trying to figure this thing out offensively with Kirk Cousins, right? It looked a lot sloppy week
Just
one,
miscue, just a lot of
a lot
miscues,
of
and
miscues
yeah,
offensively. Um, and then obviously now I just realized that the Philadelphia Eagles have Saquon Barkley. If it wasn't for Christian McCaffrey, I think we'd be talking about Saquon Barkley as the best running back in football.
it's hard to argue.
Um, I'm rolling with the Eagles. I'm gonna go 30-24.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think the addition of Saquon now, I think is gonna take a
Yes.
lot of pressure off Jalen Hurts' mobility, and hopefully he can get back to that guy where he's just blowing past people, and obviously with his strength being hard to tackle, he
Yeah.
doesn't quite look like that right now, but hopefully he gets
Mhm.
back to that. But AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goddard, this offensive line, even though they've lost Jason Kelsey, it's still really good. You still got two Pro Bowl, all Pro level right tackles, and Jordan
Right.
Mailata and Lane Johnson. Landon Dickinson as well at guard is really solid as well.
Yeah.
This offense is still going to put up points.
Yeah. Just
Um,
gotta clear up with the snap stuff too, and the fumbling, the snaps, and all that.
yeah,
That's got to be
with
cleared up too in
Cam
practice.
Jurgens, right? I
Hmm.
believe Cam Jurgens is the new center, if
Right.
I'm not mistaken.
It is. Mhm.
Uh, so, um, yeah, I'm rolling with the Eagles, and I just think the Saquon effect is real, man.
You know,
Like
it is. It's
it's
very
real, bro.
evident. Yeah.
And
I like
because this is
because
the
like
first.
without Saquon, my bad to cut you off, but without Saquon, you look at this game and it's a whole lot closer. Falcons could steal it like that. But with the addition of Saquon, let's say if Hurts is struggling like he did last game, they could still win this game.
Yeah, and I think it's just that element, man, because this is the first time Saquon is running behind a pretty darn good offensive line, and now that he's not the only main focus now.
And
Like when he was in New York,
he has a passing game to open him up.
exactly in New York, he was the main focus, not a great offensive line. He has a really good offensive line, and he's not the main focus because you've got AJ Brown, talked about it already, Devontae Smith and Dallas
Smith.
Goddard
Yes,
as
sir.
well. So yeah, I think this Eagles, especially at
Oh,
home as well.
and Dotson as well. Let's not forget
Yeah,
Dotson.
Jahan Dotson. Hopefully, get to see him more acclimated into this offense as well moving forward. Um, but I just think going to week two, the Eagles pull this out. I think the Falcons actually are gonna get. I think they're gonna get going early. I think they're gonna start off way better. I think they're gonna have a lot more. It's just the pace of the way their offense plays out. I think I won't be surprised if they do a lot of hurry ups, start the game,
Yeah,
just to
game
kind
plan
of
will
get.
be maybe a lot cleaner.
Yeah. And I think Kirk will look better. I mean, I think he
Mhm.
will. I think he's too good of a quarterback to look the way he did in week one.
That was weird.
Um, and again, too, like we look at I mean, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan. I mean, there's some talent on that offense too. So,
Yeah.
and that Falcons defense, I'm taking over Philadelphia right now. I think this Atlanta defense is playing at a
And no,
pretty high level.
they fully kept him in that game against the Steelers the whole game. I don't
Yeah.
care what people got to say how bad Justin Fields is, whatever, whoop de whoop. They kept him in that game, tenfold.
Yeah. So I think Atlanta's going to show some flashes, and I think they're going to stay in the game.
Mhm.
But I just think the Eagles, when it comes down to it, in the clutch moments, it's like I said, being at home, that element helps. They're
Yeah,
going to be able to make more plays and obviously score more points in the end.
absolutely. I agree. All right, my boy. And do we want to do the MVP of the week or the impact player of the week?
All right, all
I
right.
got I got mines.
You got yours. All right, you start with yours. I'll go last. You go first.
I just felt like he went a little under the radar in regards to credit this week, especially because this is a very offensive league now. But TJ Watt, uh, he had a phenomenal game
Yeah,
against the Atlanta Falcons. He
he was
was
crazy.
messing Kirk Cousins up. And this is a credit to that whole D line as a whole as well. They just shut it down. And as you can see, their offense was crazy flustered. TJ Watt was out there manhandling everything. So I just want to give him his credit. I felt like there was a lot of offensive news this week.
So I'm kind of thinking about two guys that come to my head right now.
Yeah,
Um, One of them is Jalen Reed. He was phenomenal with the
that's a good one.
Packers.
Yeah.
And again, I thought Dontarian Wicks was going to be the guy on that wide
Mhm,
receiver thing. Jalen
mhm.
Reed, he was phenomenal week one. He was. I'm not saying Wicks can't be that guy moving forward because he's
No,
extremely
no.
talented. He's dynamic, But
Mhm.
Reed was really he was phenomenal. But just for me to see him look healthy and back from two devastating injuries, yes, it was against my Raiders. I was really happy to see J.K. Dobbins, man. He was real good. as
Yeah.
painfully as painfully as that, it is. He was phenomenal. He had over 100 rushing yards in the second half. First half, he wasn't really getting going.
Yeah,
Credit
I'm
that
sorry.
too because the Raiders front four was great against the run in that first half.
Mhm.
Second half, he really got going. Um, but yeah, great to see J.K. Dobbins healthy because we know when he's healthy, what he can bring to the table. He's extremely talented.
Yeah.
Just health has just not been his friend since he's came into the
Yeah.
league. And hopefully in this situation where, you know, under Jim Harbaugh, they like to run the football. Obviously, Greg Roman was his old OC when he was in
Yep.
Baltimore as well. So there's some chemistry there already, and plus Gus Edwards as well as a complimentary back with
Yeah.
him. So yeah, man, I think a big year potentially if he stays healthy for J.K. Dobbins.
No, no, I hear you, and he's a very, very, very important candidate for comeback player of the year.
But he could be.
Yeah, I'd give it to him. Shoot, if he's running like that against y'all defense. But
Hey, our defense was tired, bro. You know why we couldn't score points, bro. They was out there for too long, bro. Hey, I'm just calling what it is, bro.
hey,
We
I didn't
watched
say
the
anything.
game.
I didn't say shit.
All right. Don't look at me. I'm just saying, bro.
I didn't
Like
say
we watched the game, bro. We couldn't score points. Like your defense is gonna get tired, bro.
y'all need a quarterback. But that's gonna cap off point after episode 10. A little quicker episode for y'all this time. A little nice digestion, you know what I'm saying? But my boy Caleb, any last words for the peoples, man? They already know what it is.
Man, we're 10 episodes in, man. We're gonna keep bringing you this exciting content, man. I'm just excited to get to be able to just talk ball with you, to talk ball with my boy Jay, and
Sir.
you know, hear people's opinions and the comments.
Hey,
I enjoy it, man. So it's a privilege for just to come up here every day and just talk ball, bro.
facts, man. And just from my peoples, we appreciate y'all, watching, it may not be a lot right now, but we just pumping these out, man. We just grinding.
Hey,
Uh
every one comment is a million.
Facts. You're not
That's
lying,
my
brother.
optimism, bro.
You're not lying, man. But links in the description as always. Next
Yeah.
episode. Y'all are gonna get 2 episodes a week now.
Oh
So
yeah.
this content is coming your way.
Yes.
Be the lookout for the next episode next Tuesday. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Hmm.
We're gonna catch on
Follow
next.
us, man. Check us out.
We're gonna catch on next time. Peace.
No.